Hello, I'm James Lott Jr. Welcome to JLJ Media's Y&R Mini Spotlight, and I am mini spotlighting somebody. You see her right there. She
Hi.
just came on as Audra Charles here on Young and Restless, but let me tell you a little bit about her. We have a Jimmy Kimmel connection, which I'm going to unveil together. She also graduated from UCLA. Yeah, that little school here in Los Angeles is kind of a deal. But a BA in philosophy cum laude. Homegirl is smart, of course. Also, she studied with Stella Adler and Meisner. I know folks who've done both of that also. And she's been on other TV shows and things, but we're excited to see what she's here for Audra on Y&R. Zuleyka Silver. How you doing, Zuleyka?
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And I love that intro. You've done your research. I love
Hey,
it.
I did, girl. Oh, no, the Jimmy Kimmel connection is you sometimes play Mrs. Guillermo.
Yeah, I do. It's so much fun. It's so funny because they called me in to do a skit and I was like, I'm on Y&R. And Guillermo's like, oh, tell me if you need someone to play your husband. I'm available. I was like, I will pass on the message, Guillermo.
That'd be funny if you did come up
Right?
with. You got funny.
Guillermo in Cinema City. Can you imagine?
I know that would be hilarious. This is my husband, Guillermo. Or some other name. Give us some other name. So I was on Jimmy Kimmel Live last year. I was the first I made history. I was the first guest live studio audience in 14 months.
That's amazing.
Yes. So now I'm part of the family, and I got to meet Guillermo, who was like, I mean,
Great.
great guy, just really very friendly, personable. And it's so funny because he walked in my dressing room with the outfit on. It was just so funny. I'm like, you're wearing the outfit. He's like, yeah, I get paid to do that. I started laughing. I'm
Yeah, the things you make him do, but he's always such a trooper and he's so fun. And it's so hard to not break character whenever we're filming, just because he's just naturally such a funny dude, right? He's so
But
funny.
how many skits have you done with him so far?
Um, I'm not sure. I think it's been, I have to check. I think it was like 8 or
Yes,
something.
you've done a lot. You've done a bunch. I know you've done a bunch. I'm scared
Yeah.
of you. Yeah, you've done a bunch. That's a fun, interesting side you get to show people that you can do comedy.
Yeah, I love comedy as well. Yeah, yeah, even though I feel like I have to be like the straight person, right? Meaning like so to set up the joke and stuff, but I mean it's just so fun to be on set with him. So I was like I hope I get to do more of those, if I have some time off here and there if it works out, that'd be great.
Yes,
But
yes,
if not,
folks.
we'll bring him over to Genoa City.
They should not far. Well, they're in Hollywood. You're in Mid City. I mean, it's not that far. You can get
Right? We can make
there.
it happen.
Get there. Plus, folks, you didn't know this. They obviously don't film late at night. The show is they film earlier for late at night.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, oh yeah, they don't film at night. Like I was like, oh, I'll go until like 10 o'clock. Like, no, you film like at 5 or something like that. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
it's funny. Also, to get Magnum cum laude from of anything, you must have did some really hard work in college. I mean, you really because you did philosophy, you did a minor in film and stuff. That's a great accomplishment. Congratulations. That's such a great
Thank you so
accomplishment.
much. Thank you.
Do you like school? Did you like education?
Well, I think that right after high school, I went to a 2-year acting conservatory. I wasn't sure that I was going to go to college. It was actually a decision that I made later on in life. I think I just wanted to sign up to take a few community college classes just because. And then I don't know, I didn't go back to school with the intention of transferring to UCLA. It was just something that I don't want to say it happened naturally, but I think that I really liked it. I like the structure. I like the fact that also I'm a first generation Mexican American college student. So it was something that I felt like I wanted to do for myself. And, the opportunity presented itself and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I think people usually they either hate or love philosophy because obviously like you have to makes you think a lot, right? But I think
Yes.
one of those persons when I took my first philosophy class, I switched my major from political science to philosophy just because I was just fascinated about all these philosophers spent just centuries trying to answer some of the questions that I was trying to answer for myself. And I think it just really made me a more well-rounded person. And I don't know, I sound nerdy, but I don't know, I feel like less alone when I was like reading all that philosophy and I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah. You're not. It's okay to be a nerd. Nerds now apparently.
Exactly. Yeah.
You learn about something. No, I think it's interesting. And also, I was going to bring up the first gen thing because that is something we all come. I come from immigrant parents. We all come from. We're coming from a place now where it's being celebrated that we come from any country. We're coming here and we're actually living the American dream, isn't it? We're actually a literal part of. They came here so we can have a life, and then we're making it happen, aren't we?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just so grateful that, those resources were available to me and that I was able to even though the graduation was virtual, which I cried because it was in the middle of COVID and stuff
Yeah.
in the beginning actually. And I remember just being like, oh my God, I wanted to like walk across the stage and I walked across
Yeah.
the living room, but my family was there and we all got emotional. And then my parents were
Oh.
just saying how, even though it was like later, right? Because I did, which has its own challenges going back to college as an adult, but
Yes. Oh, yes.
yeah, I'm just glad that I did it. And I think I know it's not for everyone, but it was definitely for me.
Congratulations. I think that's a great thing. You made your family and ancestry proud. I know you did.
Exactly.
And I love that. What is one thing you learned from working with Stella Adler, working with that whole agency and act? I have some friends who did some great stuff. One of my friends is on a telenovela, Tony. He's on a lot of stuff with them too. What was the thing you learned from working
Well,
with him?
it's funny because I went to the studio out here, but then I also studied in New York. But when I went to New York, I actually took the Shakespeare Conservatory there. And that was just at first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that because I was like, how is that maybe going to help me with contemporary acting and stuff? But the classes we had like our voice, body, right? And then we had like scene study and all of that. We even had like a stage combat class to just
Ooh.
for fun. So I think just using my imagination, I think a lot of the times I use a lot of my personal trauma and memories to get to a certain place. So I think a blend of that with using imaginary circumstances as well. That's something that I got from Adler.
Yeah.
And I think just a blend of all the classes, like I became less self-conscious. I was more in my body, in my voice. So yeah, I think you grow with, I don't think there's one method. It's like, this is the right
Right.
technique or the best acting
Right. Right.
method.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it really just helped me find what works for me and find be comfortable in my body and in my voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be the sum of all parts, right? So even your college experience will play into your acting. Your life experience will play into your acting. So now you got these different techniques. They're like, you put them in a little toolbox and you can pull them out when you need them.
Yeah, I grab a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm always still learning. Like I feel like you're never, at least for me, when it comes to acting, I'm never just like, okay, I'm done learning. Like I'm always, whether it's, I'm learning something from my castmates, I'm like, oh, I like that. I love how much this person improvises on set, or I like that. Let me try this. And I'm always learning something new. Because I really, really genuinely love the craft of acting. So I always try to better myself and work on something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're with a great cast, first of all. I've interviewed and know most of them. So you're surrounded by pros.
Mhm.
So getting a soap opera, which is very different kind of acting than anywhere else,
Yeah.
than episodic film, whatever. It's a faster pace and everything. So how have you been adjusting to that?
So yeah, I think I had the expectation prior to joining. So I had an idea, but I think what I've been doing for myself to make sure that, if it's a moving train, I don't miss it. So I just been doing a lot of preparation at home because I know we move so fast here. So I can't show up on set and try to find my motivation or find what it is that I want in the scene. So I try to do all of that beforehand and then have fun and play on set. So I think that has really helped me just adjust, right? Like the fact that I'm prepared. And then, if the director wants to try something new or if I get something else from the actor, it doesn't throw me. So I think that has been just my preparation at home is what really has helped me uh, just do my best on set here. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so we know Audra just came. So she just came into the scene. She just arrived. We know that she's Noah's ex. That's all we know. But you and Nate had some scenes together. People were like, wow, there's some chemistry there. But I want to find out from you, just as an actor, what did they tell you about Audra? Like, what did they tell you? Like, so you can begin the process of creating her.
Right. So when I had my meeting with Josh, right, we talked about the relationship that she had back in London with Noah and how tumultuous it was. And what I really, I think, wanted to know is if Audra's really, changed, or if she has,
Yes.
from, I don't want to give away too much,
I know, don't get too much, but yeah.
I'm trying to be careful with what I'm
I
saying.
know, I got you. Yes.
Yeah, but she still has some of the tendencies. I think even if we grow out of some of our bad habits, there's still a little bit of that lingering. So I think that it's a struggle within herself, right? Of her wanting to be less toxic and be a better person. But it's that inner struggle where she falls back into some of the same traps that led to the demise of her and Noah in London, for example.
Your
So
philosophy comes into play there. Your philosophy stuff comes in there.
yeah, so she's definitely, I like to believe that she has the best intentions, and not like really judge my characters. So she plays to win, and I think she truly believes that she's changed for the better, but you're going to see that back and forth struggle.
But it was funny you said that, because I was going to ask you. I always ask some actors sometimes, do you have to like your characters to play them? And you just said basically you do your best not to judge them. You like, so I always wonder, are they like your twin? Are they like your sibling? Are they like a friend? Like when you play characters, like, or is it very separate? I'm me and that's the character. Like, how do you approach that?
Yeah, I think I try to keep them separate just for my own like state of mind, right? I think it's, at least for me, it's healthier. I do feel like I have some things in common with Audra, but I feel like I love her so much already, and I try to protect her, and I always try to ground her in the most compelling truth that I can find, because I think it's easy to like judge her on the surface, right? But she's so multi-layered and dynamic, and she might seem like this on the surface, but for example, I feel like she's strong because she had to be, because she's been through so much, and there's a vulnerability there. And I think as the audience gets to know her a little bit more, we're going to see each of those like kind of layers peel off. And I think that's what's so beautiful about her. But I do, to answer your question, I do try to keep them separate. Before, I used to I do find that the similarities, but I still keep a little bit of separation. But as soon as we're on set and they say action, I'm like, Audra.
Well, it's like some people go very immersive and they're like, I'm in the character all the time. Like, it's a little crazy. They can't shake it off when they leave. But you're like, healthy distance. I know the character. Yeah. I infuse some of myself, obviously, in there, but it's a character I'm playing. So when they turn the camera on, then bam, I'm on.
And I think because there's a lot of heavy stuff coming up, that I think it's just
safe.
Yeah, safer for me.
Safer. Well, I want to thank you. I know this is a quick interview, but I want to thank you for your time, Zuleyka. And you have to come back on, and things start progressing. So now I'm very excited to see what you have to do in life and on the show. So thank you very much.
So much. It went by so quickly. You're so lovely. We'll definitely do this again.
Yes, we'll do it again. So you can watch her on the Y&R show every week, every day, every week on CBS. Of course, Zuleyka Silver. Look her up. I know your website is it Zuleyka-silver.com?
Yes. You
do that, grab that. And I'm James Hunt Jr., of course. This is the Y&R Mini Spotlight. We're on every Sunday talking about the show, of course. And then we do other interviews and special things. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.